just type in the chat box if you guys have any questions along the way. So we will get started here. And like I said, my name is Robin Stetzel, and I'm a registered nurse. I'm a clinical aromatherapy practitioner. But that's really not, you don't need to be an expert to know how to use CBD or essential oils. You just have to have a passion to take your health into your own hands and use something naturally that's going to support your body instead of doing something that is going to force your body to do something that it wasn't created to do. So my journey began as an oncology nurse. Bone marrow transplant was my specialty for many years. But due to my son's health, I had to search out natural options because the medical community just wasn't giving me answers. He had an autoimmune disease, and he had head-to-toe eczema. He had a lot of things going on, sensory, and even was put on the spectrum of autism. And I just really had to put my foot down and figure out what was going on with him, because I knew my mom gut, I knew, my mama instincts kicked in, and I knew there was an answer, there was a cause that the medical community wasn't giving me. And so that's really what turned my whole world around, looking into natural health. And by doing that and empowering myself and allowing myself to do the research, I found those answers. And over a matter of a year, we cleaned up our home, we got rid of toxic chemicals. We started detoxing my son, and he got rid of all of those diagnoses within a year. He's 15 now. At the time, he was 3 years old, and we have not looked back. So this is my passion. This is my purpose. This is why I do what I do, is because I know that there's somebody out there looking for answers. And if I can touch one person's life and change their course of their health just by giving them the information they needed to make the change that their family needed for health and wellness, then it was all worth it. It was all worth everything that I had gone through with my son to just allow me to share his story to make change. So let's talk about CBD. Now, okay, I got to back up. I'm a nurse. I'm not a doctor. So I have to put this disclaimer out here. Again, I'm not even an expert in CBD. I just researched, and I am certified in essential oil education, and it really just came down to me educating myself. This information here has not been evaluated by the FDA, and of course, if you start any new product, you always have to check with your doctor and, again, do the research yourself. You are the gatekeeper to your family's health and your health, and it's up to you to find those answers for them. So again, this is for educational purposes only. If you guys have questions throughout the night, please post in the chat box or message me. If you're watching this on the replay, just comment below and I will get those answers to you. So let's start off about just talking about what is CBD, because again, it's all the hype. You might see it at the grocery stores. You might even see it at your pharmacy. You might see it, I've even saw it at the dollar store, okay? So there's a lot going on out there in the CBD world. And the thing is that some people might be completely for it. Some people might be completely against it. And some people just don't understand what it is. So let's break down these things. I'm going to go through some of what is it, what's the science behind it, how does it work, and then how do we use it for our family, and how do we choose the right, most effective kind that's going to make the big difference in our health. So again, it's the hottest topic on the market. There's tons of research going on, but CBD simply stands for cannabidiol. It's a compound that comes from the hemp plant. And we'll get into more of this as we go. It's also called cannabis sativa. This compound, or CBD, is part of a complex body system. It's in our own body, you guys. It's called the endocannabinoid system. So we think that CBD, right, is a supplement that we take, and it is. It's a supplement that we take. But our own body creates CBD. It has an endocannabinoid system. So endo, meaning it's produced by the body by targeted receptors. Phytocannabinoids are something that is produced or occurring in plants. So that's your CBD, your hemp oils. And then there's synthetic cannabinoids. So those are produced in a lab. They mimic CBD, but that's the garbage. You really don't want that type of CBD. So as we move forward in the education of this, just know there's a lot of receptor sites that are in and throughout the body that use our CBD, our cannabinoid system. We talk about CB1 receptor targets and we talk about CB2 receptor targets. And that's something that you really want to pay attention to. If you're like me and you start diving into the research, you really want to know if that research article is talking about CB1 or CB2 receptor sites, or maybe both, and we'll dive into that. So the endocannabinoid system, like I was saying, sometimes we call that the ECS system. It's really a regulatory system in the body that helps with brain functionality. It helps to regulate our nervous system, our endocrine system. So our endocrine system consists of our hypothalamus, our pituitary, our thyroid, ovaries, progesterone, testosterone. Our entire hormone pathways, our endocrine system, our adrenals as well, and the immune system. So it assists things like digestion, pain modulation, reproduction, stress, appetite control, mood, temperature control, and even memory. So the endocannabinoid system is really super complex, like our nervous system, and it's going under further research as we speak. This is what's getting CBD such the hype out there, because the researchers are on it, the scientists are on it, the medical doctors are on it, and the response of what they're seeing that the endocannabinoid system is responsible for, and how CBD supplement essential oil, or the oil, it actually is mind-boggling what the benefits are giving to our body. It's giving our body back the ability to do what it was created to do. So I'm a science geek. I really love the science. I encourage you guys, if you are like me, to dive into the research. Just Google CBD and whatever ailment you're looking at, and you're gonna find some research articles on that, and to really show you how the body was created and how this is just awesome, awesome research that's going on out there. I wanna start just by this quick video. I added this tonight because it really sums up how the cannabinoid system works and why I believe that CBD should be a supplement that you're taking every single day for the rest of your life. So let's watch this video real quick.
When people hear about all of the different health conditions that cannabis can help with and all of the different benefits of cannabis, it's almost too hard to believe. How can one herb have so many powerful medical properties without having any dangerous side effects? This question led researchers to discover a system of physiology that we all have inside of us that's constantly maintaining balance at a cellular level. It was named the endocannabinoid system because we discovered it when we were looking for how does cannabis work. Now we know that the endocannabinoid system is active in everyone all the time, from even before you were born to the end of your life, helping promote health and balance physiologically. This system is present all through the body and all the different tissues. That's why it can help with disorders of the brain, of the various organs like the liver or the intestines. It can help with musculoskeletal problems. It can help with inflammatory and immune issues. Your body is making cannabinoids all the time. These molecules function a lot like THC and the other cannabinoids found in the plant. And your body knows when to make these and how to make these to keep you healthy. Some people need a little help, or their endocannabinoid system may not be functioning at its optimal level, and you can address this by adding in the right dosage of cannabis from the plant. I've been surprised in my clinical practice to discover that ultra low dosages of cannabis can be health promoting and also relieve symptoms in patients. At these very low dosages, people will over time become more sensitive to cannabis and start getting better and better effects from the cannabis they're using, as well as start to develop a feeling of resilience, of strength, of balance. What I believe is happening, and this is supported by animal research, is that very low dosages of cannabis can actually upregulate and tonify your endocannabinoid system. This means the system of physiology that's been active within you since before you were born starts acting more efficiently, more optimally to promote health and balance internally. Ultra low dosages of cannabis can be used, in my experience, to promote health and to keep people resilient to all the toxicities and changes in their environment.
So isn't that amazing that, we have this system in place in our body that now we are tapping into and getting it back to its full potential. So the ECS works by regulating those messages. Now I'm going to get into a little bit of science here, so just bear with me. But I do feel like it's really important for you to understand the how and the why of why do we need, or how does this work? Because then you're going to understand why you need it on a daily basis, why that loved one that you're thinking about right now needs this in their life. And again, I'm a science geek, and I love to know how something works, because for me, if I don't get to the how or the why, then it just doesn't make sense to me. So let's dive into that. So again, when we are talking about the ECS system, or the endocannabinoid system, it really regulates messages that are sent throughout the body. So when our brain wants to send a message to the body, it releases a chemical called a neurotransmitter. So this neurotransmitter is released from a neuron. So if you're looking at that diagram on the screen, we have that diagram of a neuron, and you're looking at that presynaptic end. Once this message is released, it must reach across that gap. So you see that gap there. That's called the synapse. I know I'm taking you guys back to some biology classes here. And it takes that through the synapse to the next neuron, which we call the postsynaptic. So when the message is received, it excites that neuron, which then allows the message to continue moving from neuron to neuron until it reaches its final destination. So when neurotransmitters are excited, that excites the neuron, it interacts with our cannabinoid receptors, and it acts as a lock and key system. It unlocks a specific message that's going to allow it to communicate with each other. So two of the most well-known receptor sites in this system are CB1, like I was mentioning, and CB2. So when the postsynaptic neuron, okay, the neuron that got the message at the very end, receives a message, it activates our cannabinoid receptors, and it sends the message back in the opposite direction. It often then limits the response of the first neuron so that less of the neurotransmitter is released. So basically what it's doing is it's balancing the communication from left to right. So if we kind of put this in layman's term, when we have autoimmune disease, right? When we have autoimmune disease, it's the communication's not there. The communication is saying, I don't recognize this, but the body's in an alarm state, and it's saying, hey, trying to send this message, and the message is not communicating correctly. So then it starts to see the body as foreign, and it starts to attack it. So think about things like Hashimoto's or Crohn's disease. That communication just isn't there, and it upregulates the immune system, and it causes imbalance. So when we start to balance out the endocannabinoid system, what we're doing is we're allowing that lock and key mechanism to communicate with each other, to go back and forth in homeostasis, not just one way or the other. So the whole point of the balancing the endocannabinoid system is to create homeostasis or balance throughout the entire body, throughout every single organ system. So that's what's so exciting about this, is because it's almost like our adaptogen herbs, where we don't have to, if you don't need it, it's not going to do anything, right? So if your body doesn't need that, it's not going to do anything. But if it does, somewhere in your body, it knows where to go. It knows what it needs to do to get the response that your body was created to give. It just gives it back its ability to do that. It's awesome. So my husband is a chiropractor, and if you're under chiropractic care, you understand how important it is to keep that nervous system balanced, because the brain controls all healing and function throughout the entire body. It communicates through our spinal cord. So we need that communication channel to be open. But you guys, that cannabinoid systems, those receptor sites on our organ systems, may be blocked. So even if you are having chiropractic adjustments, which is absolutely phenomenal, and it's the number one core thing I think everybody needs in their life, maybe those receptor sites are not working, so you're not getting the response that you thought you would through your chiropractic adjustments. I am telling you, the testimonials and the response we have seen with our patients in our office by adding in the CBD with their chiropractic adjustments, it's been absolutely phenomenal. And then we've been in practice for 20 years. We do homeopathics, we do herbs, we do supplements, but this is that missing link. And they call it the wonder drug, right? It's not really a drug, but they call it the wonder drug right now because it's really unlocking so much potential for the human body. It's really incredible. So let's just talk about the elephant in the room for a second. Let's talk about CBD versus THC. Is CBD marijuana? Is it illegal? I'm going to tell you right now, you can take a deep breath because it's not. CBD is not marijuana. You do not need a medical card. You don't have to worry about those things when you're taking CBD. So let's break this down a minute. So THC stands for tetrahydrocannabinide. Okay, so it takes a minute to get some of this terminology down. THC stands for tetrahydrocannabinol. Cannabinol. There we go. And it gives the euphoric feeling. So THC gives that euphoric feeling, that high, right? And THC interacts with CB1 receptor sites, mainly in the brain and the central nervous system, okay? Not the peripheral nervous system, but the brain and the central nervous system. That's why people get high off of marijuana, is because THC interacts with CB1 receptors. Got it? Okay, follow me here. So CBD, cannabidiol, does not interact with the body in the same way. It has no psychoactive properties. There's no euphoric feeling. There's no altered mental state. CBD works with those CB2 receptors, and it has a more impact on your immune system, your digestive tract, your peripheral nervous system, those hormone pathways we talked about, and that's cannabis sativa. So there's all kinds of varieties that are out there with the cannabis sativa varieties have less than 0.3% THC. We're going to get into why this is really important, the product that I chose to use with myself and my patients. But the cannabis sativa varieties with less than 0.3% THC by dry weight are considered hemp plants, okay? So the varieties with higher levels of THC, that's considered our marijuana plants. So you can see there's two different types of species with the cannabis. We're talking about species 1, which is our hemp, okay? That contains 20% CBD. It contains less than 0.3% THC. And then you've got your species 2, which is marijuana. It contains 10% CBD, and it contains more than 20% THC. Hope you guys are following me along with this. But it's really important because we are not talking marijuana here. We are not talking THC. So let's just back up here a minute, because people are like, what the heck? Why is this such a hype right now? And, what's the big deal? Well, the problem was, and we'll talk about the CBD history, the problem is laws change. So historically, hemp has been grown for centuries. And you might have, been familiar with that in cloth, in rope, lamp fuels, industrial fibers, even food. So you've got your hemp seeds, even body care products, right? So during the colonial times, everyone was actually, interestingly enough, mandated to grow hemp. And Presidents Washington and Jefferson, they both grew hemp. And it was widely grown in the United States up through the mid-20th century. So then the whole, that was about 1970s, right? So then the whole marijuana thing came into play, and people started the whole THC thing. Well, it wasn't until 1970 that Congress passed the Controlled Substance Act. And what they did is they actually classified hemp, all of hemp. It doesn't matter species 1, species 2. They classified all of hemp with that drug restriction. They classified them strict regulations for its use and cultivation. And so nobody was allowed to use or cultivate hemp any longer. And that unfortunately included the species 1, which is our hemp, which was all of those awesome natural abilities that didn't have the THC in there. They just put the blanket across. So that's why it went away. So in 2018, Congress passed the Agricultural Improvement Act, and that removed hemp, species 1, and some cannabis products from the Controlled Substance Act, thereby making it readily available. So that's what happened. It's just been since 2018 that now we have it just flourishing in the market. That being said, we know what happens when everybody jumps on the bandwagon and, we find a great product out there, AKA just like what happened to essential oils, that then they're trying to recreate this. And then you have a ton of really crappy, poor, toxic products that then are on the market. So another reason why I educate people on essential oils and CBD is because you have to understand that these products are in such concentrated form that if you are taking a product and you don't know by 100% that they are clear and free of toxic chemicals and heavy metals, then you can actually be doing more harm than good by taking a questionable, cheap product. So please don't do that. If you are using a CBD product right now and you're not sure the quality standards that that company has, you're not sure, and we'll talk about this in a minute, if it's full spectrum or isolate, I would stop right now and start researching your company. Do your due diligence because your life depends on it. I know that sounds dramatic, but I'm dead serious. My son had heavy metal toxicities, lead, mercury, arsenic, and those are neurotoxins. And hemp is historically known to absorb all of the heavy metals from our earth. So you better believe that you want to make sure that you are using products that are farmed well and correct, and they are tested for every single heavy metal, toxic chemical, fungi, mold, because otherwise you're taking that at a concentrated level. I cannot stress that enough. So let's move forward here and talk about these two terms that are really important to understand when you are shopping around for your CBD. So you'll hear these, and I'm going to break down the difference between them. So you're going to hear the two terms full spectrum and isolate. So full spectrum products still come from the same cannabis sativa plant, but must contain less than 0.3% THC. It's processed in a way that allows it to retain terpenes, flavonoids, plant parts, and all other cannabinoids. We'll talk about what this all means here in a second. But the downside of a full spectrum is it allows that THC, even though it's 0.3%, it allows that THC to be in the product. And this is where somebody could fail, potentially, a drug test. And this has happened to a family friend of ours that was taking a product that was full spectrum. They failed a drug test. They lost their CDL license. So this is a big deal, you guys. You want to make sure that you're using a product that is formulating their products the right way and in a delivery system that is actually going to work. And we'll talk about that more in just a second. So the downside of, again, the great side of full spectrum is that it gets in the cell, it crosses that blood-brain barrier, it attaches to CB1 and CB2 receptor sites. The downside is that, again, that THC is in there and you could fail a drug test. So let's talk about what we do in the meantime. So we talk about the CBD isolates. So CBD isolate is the purest form of CBD, and how they make it is supercritical CO2 extraction. That's what it's called. The CO2 extraction is used to remove everything from the product except the CBD compound. This leaves you with that product that is zero. You guys, 0% THC. No chance for a drug fail. But here's the thing. Again, if you're finding a product that says isolate, here's the deal, you guys. It doesn't no longer have the terpenes that allows it to cross that blood-brain barrier and get it to activate the CB1 receptor sites. Okay? So there's no trace of THC, which means, again, you're not going to fail a drug test, but by isolating the CBD compounds, we can then safely and have our safety, purity, therapeutic value of our CBD. However, in order to get back the synergistic effect of what that little bit of THC was doing, we now use therapeutic grade essential oils to add back the terpenes. So essential oils, there's certain essential oils that have the exact same kind of terpenes that take the place of THC and allow it to work more effectively. It's amazing. The research and science that Natures Ultra and Young Living partnering together and doing the science behind this, and how they have used the essential oils, their therapeutic grade, and adding back that terpene ability. And now we are creating what is called a controlled broad spectrum CBD. This is what I am so excited to promote to all my patients, so excited that there's no risk for a drug fail, so excited that now we can deliver a product that actually gets results, and it's not just that isolate CBD. So let's talk more science. So I hope I'm not boring you with all the science, but I'm the science person, so I'm going to talk about the science, and then we'll get into the how do we use it. All right, let's talk about terpenes. So when I was going through aromatherapy certification, what was really mind-boggling to me is, I knew lavender smelled great, and I knew peppermint helped my diet. I had no idea, you guys, the science and the chemistry behind this. I hated chemistry in high school. I don't even know if I passed it. No, I probably did, because I got into college. But science was not my thing back then, but I think it was because I wasn't interested in this. When I started learning about terpenes and essential oils and how they actually work and how they allow the essential oil to cross the blood-brain barrier and get into the cells, and the power behind terpenes, I became a science geek. I don't even know what happened to me, but I became a new person. So I do want to talk about this because it's important. Terpenes are the key to getting the synergistic effect with your CBD. So terpenes are aromatic hydrocarbons that are found in essential oils of plants. They affect CB1 and CB2 receptor sites and neurotransmitters in the brain. So some of the most common ones, terpenes, are myrcene. So that's a monoterpene, and that's in essential oils like juniper, pine. You've got your limonene, and limonene is in all your citrus oils. You've got your beta-caryophyllene or caryophyllene, that's in copaiba. You can find that in cinnamon oil. You've got your terpeneol, that is in your pine, your petitgreen. Menthol, of course, we know that is peppermint or mint or spearmint. And then the linalool, so that is your lavender. Lavender is where you're going to find that terpene. So you can take two powerful products, CBD and therapeutic grade essential oils, and make them into even more powerful product by using them together. So that's what's awesome about Natures Ultra, the company that Young Living has just partnered with, the CBD company that Young Living just partnered with. They're coupled together and came up with this amazing product that works together. So again, when we're talking about therapeutic grade essential oils, not all essential oils are created equal. And again, when I was researching the things that I was bringing into my home and into my son's world, because he was so sensitive to fragrance and chemicals and all of that, that I had to make sure that what I was doing was pure and the best possible. And that's when I found Young Living. They've been around for 25 years. They are the industry leader. You guys, Young Living actually sets the standard for every single other essential oil company out there. They set the standard of what a good product or what a good essential oil is. And a lot of times other companies are trying to mimic and recreate what Young Living has produced. But Gary Young has spent his entire life as a practitioner, as a healer. He was not in it for the sales. He was not in it for product sales. He was in it to bring a therapeutic grade essential oil into every single home in the world, because he saw the power that it did for his own health and healing. So anyways, the Young Living, again, is therapeutic grade essential oils. And if you are using another company that's not Young Living, I just encourage you to research it. Do your research. If you're using a product that is store-bought or wherever, research it. Know that you're confident by using that product, that it's clean as possible. Okay, so again, when you are starting to use the terpene-rich essential oils used with the CBD, you're going to see life-changing response. So let's talk about why do we use CBD? You know, what does it actually do? So we've heard all these great things, but what does it actually do? So when we talk about the science, it has a lot to say, you know, on the topic. I told you guys, research it. You'll be, you know, you'll have research for days to go through. But one thing to consider when researching CBD is whether, like I said, the study looks at CB1 or CB2 receptors. If a study is only looking at that CB1 receptors, like I was mentioning before, then the product they are testing is medical marijuana, okay? And the cannabinoid THC. So if the research is solely based on CB1 receptors, they're talking about the research they did on marijuana. But if the studies test CB2 and CB1 and 2, they are talking about CBD, okay? So that's really important, because a lot of times people will say, oh, you know, make all these claims out there, but what they're talking about is medical marijuana. And while medical marijuana has its place for sure, there's a little bit of a difference between the CBD. Now, I believe that the difference is that, you know, the medical marijuana, you're getting all the benefits of CBD without the high. All right. So, I mean, there's a reason why cancer patients need that THC, right? They need their appetite stimulated. They need to be completely euphoric and out of pain. So there's a time and a place for THC, but CBD is not that. So I just wanted to make that really clear. And I do have some patients that are on both, and that can be, you know, beneficial as well. I'm not against either one. So again, when we are supporting our bodies with something on a daily basis, then our endocannabinoid system can work more effectively, and it supports us with dealing with chronic health issues. So when we talk about the impact on the digestive system, CBD can increase serotonin. So serotonin is created 95% in the digestive tract, and thereby it helps us increase our mood. It helps to reduce occasional anxiety. And this is a common symptom that a lot of women even experience after giving birth, or are fluctuating hormones, or, you know, even my kids can have occasional anxiety too. So if your digestive tract is out of balance, your serotonin is going to be out of balance, and you're going to have mood imbalances. You're going to have worsening of mood imbalances, or even PMS, all of those types of things. And by taking CBD, you can help to balance out that mood and that nervous system. So endocannabinoids can be also naturally found in breast milk. They can be found in chocolate. You can stimulate your endocannabinoid system by running a marathon. We talk about the runner's high. Well, the runner's high, what that is you're actually activating your endocannabinoid system. So CBD can be used internally, and it also can be used topically. And we'll get into some of those uses here in just a second. But so if you have been using CBD, a lot of times people will be taking the internal form, because that's going to give you the most systemic benefit. But CBD is really versatile, meaning that you can use it in a lot of different ways. So before dosing CBD for yourself, it's important for you to decide which application method is best for you. So some application methods are more effective than others at targeting specific issues. There are 3 main application methods. So we have topically, and there is another, there is a copy of the CBD plant-based wellness. If you guys need more information, just message me or email me, put it in the chat box. I'll send you the ebook on this as well. So again, if we are talking about using them topically, then we want to start by thinking about our skin support, our muscle support, our joint support. CBD absorbs into the skin. And however, very little, if any, is absorbed into the bloodstream when we are using it topically. It can be used for, you know, pain, inflammation, joints, anything that's going on topically on the skin. So for example, my mom had this issue with her knee. She wasn't able to bend it. Doesn't know what she did. Could have been gardening. It was all swelled up. She started using CBD and it helped decrease the inflammation and supported her. My dad had a tennis elbow and it was so painful for him. We made up a little concoction and he was putting that on, and within 24 hours, he was putting that on every 4 hours, and within 24 hours, he was able to move his arm again. And within 48 hours, he no longer had the issue. So it's awesome to use topically in those situations. So again, most individuals can start off by using a low dose and then moving up from there. So when we talk about, again, how often we want to use those low, I always tell people go low and go slow. There's no reason to just do the full dose because, again, you can get a great response with the lower dose, especially when you're using a product that has the therapeutic grade essential oils in it. You're going to get a quicker response. So go low, go slow, and you can always titrate up and use more if you need it. What I also find too, the key here is consistency. So while, you might have discomfort in your head or, headache, those types of things, and maybe you apply it one time or you take it one time and you get good response, it's really long-term use. I always tell people, if you want to know if this is going to be something that's going to work for you, take it consistently daily for at least 3 months and know that you're going to see the response that you're looking for. If you're not seeing the response that you're looking for in a matter of 2 weeks, you need to increase your dose and go from there. But again, that's what we're here for. If you are a Young Living member and you're on our support team, we're here to support you through these and get you the guidance. But I encourage you guys to just listen to your body. You got to know your body. I mean, you are your own doctor. You are your own health advocate. You don't need me to tell you what to do because I don't know how you're feeling. So go base it on how you're feeling and what your response, what your response is. If you need more or less, you just really have to start encouraging you guys to start, listening to your own bodies. So again, when we are taking it internally, I'll just talk about that really quick. I can email you guys a dosing sheet that we recommend for our patients. But when we are talking about internal use, I really encourage you guys to look at your states and see what's allowed and talk to your medical doctors. If you are on medications, you really need to look at this too, that there might be some drug interactions, specifically things like blood thinners. So if you are on blood thinners, then you want to make sure your doctor knows that you're going to start CBD, because CBD can have a natural effect on thinning the blood, which again can be a great thing, kind of like our red wine, right? A glass of red wine can help to thin the blood, and hallelujah, is something that should be in your diet. No, I don't know. I can't promote that, but I'm just saying there's research behind it. But you want to talk to your doctor. If you are on blood thinners, if you're on any types of medications, if you're starting CBD orally, then you want to make sure that it's okay. And if your doctor's okay with it, just watch your medications. And if you're starting to have symptoms, maybe you won't need as much medication. Again, work with your doctor on that. So when you're starting to take CBD, and we're talking about the products that we're Natures Ultra sells with Young Living, then I usually tell people to start off with 5 drops or a quarter of a dropper full twice a day for a week. So that's, again, 5 drops, not dropperfuls, drops, which is a quarter of a dropper twice a day for a week. After this, the amount can be increased to 10 drops if you're feeling good. And then you can do that 2 times a day, 10 drops. And then you can also then move up to the full dose that's recommended on the bottle. And I say that because once we start opening up the endocannabinoid system, we start waking up the endocannabinoid system that may have been imbalanced before, your body's going to start detoxing. It's going to start, circulating things in places that may not have had blood for a while. So you might start having some detox symptoms, headaches. Maybe you feel like you're coming down with the flu, but you really don't get the flu. Those types of symptoms, as if you're, again, listen to your body, back off, take it slower, take it lower, and go up from there. So those are just some topical use or some, suggestions on how to use that internally. Now, aromatically, you guys, And so here's a topical slide. So aromatically, you guys, I don't recommend using CBD aromatically because it's really used for topical use and internal use. You can diffuse it, but it might wreck your diffuser. Just saying, because there's other things in there. Now, essential oil wise, absolutely diffuse your essential oils. Breathing in the essential oils helps to balance out and support the limbic system, which controls our emotions, controls our heart rate, and can bring lots of great benefits to the body. So aromatically, I use my essential oils for that. CBD wise, I am topical or internal. Now, if you guys are using these things with kids or pets, again, same thing applies. Go low, go slow, and if you're using essential oils with your children or pets, always dilute them. If you need more information on how to dilute safely, just message me and we can get you supported with that information. So we talked about the CBD internally. I gave you some tips on that. And then aromatically, like I was saying, not going to really take CBD aromatically. So as we wrap up here, these are just, again, a few of the things, few of the science, few of the things that I wanted to share with you guys regarding CBD and essential oils, and how I am so excited that Natures Ultra and Young Living partnered together to create this powerful product. And I can tell you guys that we were carrying another product in our office before Young Living and Young Living CBD, and it was not getting the response like we are seeing with Young Living. What we're finding is we are using less of the CBD dose, and we by double, we would have a patient on 4 dropperfuls of this other product 2 times a day to get the effect of the Natures Ultra and Young Living product of 1 dose 1 time a day. So it's been just awesome to see the testimonials coming through and the positive response. And this is why I feel everybody needs this information. This is, again, for educational purposes only. If you want to join me on another class or hold your own class, please contact me. I'm super passionate about it. I love to spread the gift of hope, health, and healing. So let me know if I can come to your group and speak to your group as well. So again, if you want to get started with CBD with Young Living, if you are a Young Living member, it's super easy. You already are going to get a discount with Natures Ultra just by going into your account, logging in, and under Quick Order, you're going to click on Quick Order. Under Quick Order, you're going to see a tab that says Natures Ultra. And what you're going to do is click on Natures Ultra, and you're going to link your Young Living account with Natures Ultra. And then you can choose any product that you want to try, and you're going to get the Young Living discount along with that. So it's pretty amazing. But keep in mind that you're not going to find this through Young Living's website. You have to go through Quick Order, click on Natures Ultra, and you're going to be connected. All right? So they have different products available. They've got a Calm CBD roll-on. So that's 300 milligrams of CBD in that roll-on. So that's going to be good for occasional anxiety. You know, I like to take it before sleep. You're just going to roll that on your pulse points behind your ears, maybe along that spine in the upper cervical area, upper neck area, and on your wrist. They have the CBD muscle rub. This comes in 300 milligrams or 600 milligrams. And for me, I have some disc space issues, and there's tons of research on CBD and helping to regenerate that disc space. And I've been putting that on my lower L5 area. So again, the CBD muscle rub has tons of essential oils in there along with the CBD. That's the one that can really help with joint health and muscle health. You've got your internal oils or your topical oils, depending on what state you are in. You've got cinnamon, citrus, and cool mint. I have used all of these, and it just depends on what you want, so you know what you're looking for. So cinnamon's going to be good for circulation and cardiovascular health. Citrus is high in D-limonene, which is going to be high in antioxidants. Think vitamin C, high antioxidants, immune support, and cinnamon is as well. But again, it's just preference here. Cool mint is got your spearmint and peppermint in there, and that's really great for digestive health, really great for alertness. And then you've got your unflavored CBD oil for pets, and that comes in different strengths as well. So now you guys think about this too. So your pet oils, you can take those too. So say you're not very comfortable with taking essential oils internally or topically or whatever, that's fine. You're not going to get the terpene effect that we talked about, but you can still do that. And you just take the unflavored CBD oil. And again, it's the unflavored is for pets, but there's absolutely nothing in there that doesn't say that we can take it. We can't take it too. So if you are brand new to Young Living and you need to start with a Young Living account, what you want to do is start with a starter kit. I can help you along with that. What that means is that you get a Young Living membership that allows you to get 24% off on all of your products for a lifetime. There's no monthly minimum that's required unless you decide to take advantage of their awesome Essential Rewards program. Otherwise, all you have to do is spend $50 in a calendar year to keep your account active and get 24% off. Most people start with a premium starter kit, and that is with 12 oils and a diffuser that has a value of over $400. That is the number one. 99% of Young Living members choose the premium starter kit. And then once you have your Young Living account activated, then you can go in and click on that quick order, click on Natures Ultra, and you can get your CBD at a discount. It's awesome. So this is a picture of what the premium starter kit looks like. It's a beautiful diffuser. It's valued at over $96 in itself. It's got 12 essential oils in there, Thieves hand sanitizer, Thieves household spray. If you're interested in learning about each one of these essential oils that comes in this kit, please text the word oils to 815-310-6457. Again, if you want to know more about what it comes in the premium starter kit, text oils to 815-310-6457. That's the way that most people get it started. It's $160 for over a $400 value. And then you can choose what CBD products you want to add on to that. Now, the CBD products price-wise is going to range anywhere from $49 all the way up to $189, depending on what dose and what product you choose. If you need help with that, please reach out to me. I'm here to help with you on that. So to get started, and if you're not a Young Living member, you can just text CBD please, that's CBD please, to 815-310-6457, and I will get you set up. So for more information, if you want my free ebook on CBD, again, message me below, comment below, send me a message, send me a text, and I'll get you your free ebook with a ton more information on how CBD can be the answer to your family's health and wellness needs. The other thing is I love speaking. I love teaching. I love educating. Book your own class. Get some benefits by booking your own class. And better yet, if this is resonating with you and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to do this as a living, I would love to help you and show you how you can be a successful CBD and essential oil wellness advocate and really support your family financially. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. Follow me on Instagram. Check out my website, naturalnurserobin.com. And thank you guys for showing up tonight, taking your health serious, and I look forward to meeting you soon. Bye-bye.